episode in Planet Paradise. Some guys get out of the luck, some guys get hit by a freight train. So, third dimensional conflict, when does it all end? No, it's like, first, I was never going to end. I know delusional spiritual people that are out there. There's a lot of them. You have to heal the torment from within, but that's not happening anytime soon. And besides that, some just like chaos too. But you don't have to be part of it. The world can burn, but you don't have to be involved with it. So there's that. But yeah, it's when is all. I mean, of course, I'm not going into all the details of what the title says there, but it's kind of cryptic at the same time. It's like some of us are here taking one beating after the other, and it just never ends. It just never fucking ends. I don't know when it's gonna end. I guess the spirit world wants you to be happy, but I don't know. Is it 20 years from now? Have they keep pounding it into the ground? Of course, you have spiritual delusion that's out there, and I'm not gonna go into all that. Just beat that one to death. And all the spiritual religions that are out there now, the alien religions that are just, they know everything, and yikes. That's gonna go, welcome to your future Earth of just, if you want to create an alien religion, you can, if you want. Just have to have a bunch of aliens that you invent and talk about them all the time. And it doesn't mean everyone will be on board, but some people will. And we can have a small religion of like 3 people. But yeah, we're in the age of creating your own alien religion. So now you have the internet and I can do anything. God, fuck. Yeah, there's consequences to that too. But I mean, some are doing their own soul growth and soul. That's one thing. Trying to figure this all out, talking to alien beings, doing get an Ashtar command, whatever. It's just that's one thing. And they gotta go through a lot of their inner torment. See the different versions of future or the versions of Earth, whatever. You just gotta. And even with spiritualism, you can't always predict the future, and because people want an easy card and they just want to know how it's going to end and everything, and it just doesn't work that way. And there's been such a program, but that's how spirituality is supposed to be. It's supposed to tell you how the future is going to be. I mean, it can tell you possibilities, but that's about it. But people just want the easy card. It's kind of like, it's another brainwashing system. So it just more spiritual brainwashing, and that's probably going to go on forever. Just like the New Earth and wherever else are invented out there. So yeah, it's just the way it is. Yeah, I guess that's me telling people there's no Santa Claus. I guess. I guess that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, eventually reality has to kick in. Oh, somebody take a whole lifetime for reality to kick in. A whole life for reality to show itself. Holy shit. And you see that in spirituality for sure. I just connect all these different realms, the programs. I'm always talking about the programs and yada, yada, yada. Trying to tell people, that the reality you're connected to is real or something like that. Here's some evidence. You can't really have evidence, but they say it is anyway. So, anyway. Well, I'm not going into all the details of that, but either way. When does it all end? When is, your own, I don't know, that's a tough one. Yeah. Obviously, we have to go through what we have to go through, but, sometimes it's not our stuff, it's other people's stuff. We have to go through their crap. Some get comfortable in being too cautious and too protective and don't really live. And here you're trying to live, but others aren't living. Might have family members, friends, who knows, or you might be trying to do something, but the rest of the world just says no. That's why leaving this planet is not going to be a big deal. Planet McDonald's, Planet Burger King, yeah, whatever. Planet Trump, go fuck this place. When's it all gonna end? Not soon enough. Oh well. So connect to third dimension. I guess conflict. I mentioned Ashtar Command. I should bring them on. Because people are all crying about them all the time. Like, who cares? It's all point of view. It's all just whatever. It's just, who cares? So much spiritual brainwashing and so many spiritual NPCs that are out there. And some of them are spiritual teachers, and it is zoned out, shut off, huge following. Wow, just like it's like a radio and autopilot, just giving people what they want to hear, and just it's like you have an empty vessel, and beings come in and just tell people they want to hear. It's like a phone booth. It's like an avatar phone booth. They just come in and tell you what you want to hear. You leave. Some other entity comes in, tells you what you want to hear. And that's it. Welcome to your spiritual growth. I guess when they snap out of it eventually. That'd make a cool movie, actually. But anyway, that'd be a horror movie, but it's happening here. I guess I'll go into Ashtar Command too. I haven't kind of tapped into them. Yeah, I just randomly brought them up, which I never bring them up, so why not? Who cares? People are scared and fucked up anyway. Who cares? So it's point of view. So what? Obviously, people want their cake and eat it. They want to know what the future's going. The Illuminati is coming to an end. Which good luck with that one. I mean, you can't even fix themselves. How's the Illuminati? Well, why would they? Why? How many people are trying to improve themselves? I mean, they are by going through what they're going through. But the conflict has not calmed down, so people are gonna fuck with you until you get until you get straightened out. So anyway, all right, we're going to third dimension energies, and then I go to Ashtar Command. So all right, blessings. Grace through the consciousness of the third dimension. Earth there is. Of course, you can't go into all the details. It's basically what the soul needs to learn. Basically, just what it needs to figure it out for itself, overcome its inner love, self-love, to bring in some love if they want to. Some feel like they're insignificant, don't matter. So it's easy to get pulled into all these manipulations, one after the other. So, and it goes much. And some are those that cause conflict. Yeah, some of them are devil beings. Some of them are narcissistic beings, and there is consequences to them at some point. Sometimes it's a health issue. Sometimes it's a mental. That's. Their abilities get taken over. There is consequences that those that cause trouble here. Even your elites, even your Bill Clintons and Clinton people, because they're kind of just scarecrows. They're just kind of just sitting there now. They're just old, just kind of living off of their, own misery. I mean, sometimes living longer is the prison sentence. Notice how some of them are living a longer life, but it's really kind of just bland existence, basically. They might have power and influence, but still kind of an empty life, basically. That's your, Clinton family, because Clinton was supposed to be arrested, as you hear. Well, there are dimensions where that did occur, and some just want that to happen. But I would say longevity living is kind of their prison sentence, actually. There's more to it than that. I'm not going into all the details, but it's they have to figure themselves out. They might have supposedly got away, but you can't do that forever. And there's many that have gotten away without going into all the details of it. But in other lifetimes, they everything turns against them in future incarnations. Like, why does this keep happening? This conflict, that conflict. They want power, they want influence, they can't get it. They see others, they just feel out on the outskirts of it, but then life just keeps beating them up and behind the scenes. So they're not out of it yet. And some of you might actually be able to see it or know these people or whatever it might be. Doesn't mean you have to incarnate to deal with that, but either way. But it's a lot of the souls that incarnate here, this is lessons they need to learn. And I'm not. Even they say they have learned, no. Usually they feel like they have, but if you're going through it, you haven't. And you're helping, and some of you are here to help others through this process. Yeah, they might want to know about the future, or, whatever. It's like they want candy for the future. They want things to turn around in their favor, and they're just not trusting themselves. They're not, they want to just think everything's going to come to an end, but they're not really connected to themselves. Yes, maybe do it in a fantasy land. They haven't quite cleared that out yet. They don't know how. So yeah, they create this perception of reality. It doesn't exist. Even some of your wealthy CEOs do it all the time. So, and some do go back to the basics. Even some of your companies are going back to the basics because they just haven't quite. Some of it was their identity and so on. But the earth consciousness that's here, yeah, it's always going to have some kind of conflicts. Not everybody in the universe has experienced this world. Doesn't mean they have to, but it's, it finds gaps where it's necessary to be here within the soul consciousness. Those that incarnate need this place. Those that, say that they're spiritual and then they're just horrible behind the scenes, it comes back to them eventually. Maybe not for others either. They might live a long, lonely life. Well, some of they're manipulative and things like that. And they don't, burning bridges constantly because of their own ego. But the conflict here is, yes, necessary. I don't call it necessary evil, but it is necessary. Or for souls to advance themselves. I mean, if you're going to get to this higher level of consciousness, you have to kind of clear out, what you've been going through. You have to, you have to be able to be on that stage and be balanced. You can't just evolve and be unbalanced. The idea is to be more connected with yourself. So, this is. Grease, your Ashtar command. Send your energies. Yes, our energies are, well, it's like anything else. Even with Yeshua or any alien being, our energies are channeled and can be skewed a great deal. Anyone can channel anything and bring their version of it, and they might have issues with Ashtar command or just don't trust it or whatever it might be. And it's still, it doesn't really matter when it comes down to it. But your planets here, of course, it's going to go through cycles. It's going to go through political cycles. Eventually, we won't have politics at some point. You're not quite there yet. Maybe you connect more to the nature frequencies and become more aware of nature. Doesn't mean you're going to be political about it, but more preservers of nature at some point. So when your political, basically the soul conflicts have to calm down at some point. When that occurs is up to you. Some are, obviously those that incarnate here feel like they can get away with anything, and they do. And some of them do create alien religions, and then others are magicians that can get away with it. And, that continues the third dimensional process. Well, this world's not going to. Those that are non-physical here, that incarnate in the physical, have a lot to learn. So, as you can see, you'd be surprised how many physical beings, they understand the third dimensional world to some level, but the non-physical, they can't figure it out for anything. They're afraid of it. They become a ghost. They wander around forever. They just, so you have like. The non-physical that does not understand the physical is coming and getting schooled, and then the physical that doesn't understand the non-physical, they're getting schooled also by you. So you're kind of schooling each other through all of this, and it's going to be some kind of conflict. That's just the way it is. It's going to be some clash of points of view, and it's going to continue on. It doesn't mean it'll be ever a calmness. We do see nature being taken more seriously at some point. Doesn't mean it'll be seen more advanced in humanity, but just more. Yeah, it's going to be seen as strange. People will be talking to trees probably more, and other plant energies become more common. Doesn't mean it'll take over your world, but more of that will probably occur in your future at some point. Well, technology is here to stay for some time. Well, AI tech, yeah, it's another consciousness basically. It's another, where souls can incarnate as an AI being, and some people have AI children. A voice there to talk to their AI kids. Sometimes they'll talk to AI and talk to an alien entity. And sometimes that will be accurate. Like, will be actually an alien entity that they're talking to. That hasn't fully showed itself yet. So there's more conflict for your world. It has so much more to discover about itself in the physical realm. So it's not about to exit the physical realm anytime soon. It's just too many it's too much. It's necessary to go through all this. So, but maybe many of you are paving the way for others to get through this life. Those that want to get through it, you try to keep their sanity, while others just love the insanity. Yes, they love the programs. They love the programming. Even if they say they don't, you'd be surprised how many do. And the trickster frequency is they don't like it, but then again, some actually enjoy it. And there's a false light energy that people are holding on to constantly. It's still inner healing. Because even in the more wider realms, it can get very lost as much as the lower the demonic realms can get just as lost with themselves too. They can both become arrogant and, so even there's always going to be two sides to everything. In your political world, there's just two sides. So it's always going to be different points of view. Doesn't mean you have to come together, but maybe more open-minded towards each other. But rather there's a divide, of course, and there will continue to be for now. For those of you that are looking for the right person and all that to connect to, when the time is right, that person will find you. It doesn't mean you're always ready for it, but you don't need necessarily. Sometimes these phone apps and all that, just more conflict. So, but yeah, the right person can usually find. You might be ready for it, you think you are, but that other person might not be ready, and so on. So, the political frequencies here, yeah, it's a bit kind of trying to babysit your planet to some level. Of course, it's kind of leader, supposedly, as they say. Well, it's just because this world lacks leadership within itself. The inner self has not grasped its own power. So then, of course, you have all these other political figures that don't know what they're doing either, but you just give it to whoever. You give the steering wheel to somebody that might be competent, maybe. So, blessings.